The military will always strange to us. Quote, if I only think it was a crazy bird they have delivered here 3 days ago. I've seen it all, but something like this is even new to me, Mikkel interjects. Why? What happened? Nef Silva looks at him and shakes his head. With 4 men's secret police. You have it delivered here. The better the product delivered or has on me, but how can I say, rather taken a very confused, highly schizophrenic impression. I do not think of anyone that does bother them. Quote, when word gets light Patchara secret police of hearing. For the first time she asks why Nef directly. Excuse me, but who are you parked here? A person. No, Nef shakes his head. It was one of those classes anthropomorphin exa-robot. He has behaved very strangely. Almost like a child. Probably some cybernetic experiments have been conducted on him down in Liporo. Even extremely funny. Quote, the young diplomat's daughter asks, also seems interested Mikkel. Is it possible that we might see the times you? We have confirmed all but robo-technology, which interests us all. Do not you? Mikkel, she's lying. This nods immediately. Nef looks around the room, including the astonished Svinenysh. Then he finally says, yes. I'll give you a little guidance times. But later. A bit of what I'm still in daily business to do. A little manual control and regulation is needed in this large plant remains. I'll show times until your quarters. Quote, then to see our 4 heroes in anticipation. At the same time you are looking forward to finally being able to pocket the Fete Ustr 19 tour through the grave now, after the relaxation of Rubra just trying Svinenysh Patchara Petch-a-boon rubsh teach a little bit. An almost impossible task, although the young diplomat's daughter proves to be extremely docile. Care must be simple at the same time too many nuances. Rubra the sounds are only passable with a lot of practice to imitate. Therefore, even Patchara has fast enough. But you already have something else up their sleeve. It rounds up your crew and spread the work plans. Everyone gets this one specially for themselves. All 3, including Svinenysh snort. So much stuff. Patchara finds the other hand this is still far too little learning material. Fortunately. There's a knock on the door shortly thereafter. Nef Silva stands in front with 4 yellow helmets in hand. He too has an on. So, he asks charged, are you ready for the tour? Faster than any other person answers given. Hello. Yes, very. Lospertit gone great. Guidance through the entire yard and house immediately. He nimbly grabs a helmet. Not a minute later followed by the whole force of the guard skills. Your visitor accommodations are just like my job at the center of the plant, he begins. In the south wing of the prison, in the north are the robots at the Potter. I would suggest we look only at short times, the cells and then the sheet metal counterparts. To be honest, there are more exciting than the prisoners' quarters. Quote, yes, that is exactly the point exactly, is the well-known to us best. More interested in me scurrying to create robotic companions. Valera, an opinion shared by the other. Deep in the south are the high-security isolation cell. As long-term prisoners are housed. Some forever. It's cruel. Even if the mech's on time after you see they are isolated to 100%. The problems that solve themselves so quickly from alone. Anyone Svin except perhaps know what is meant. You get a massive steel door. Nef Com holds its front, she jumps up and gives a view of a long corridor with another steel doors left and right. Behind it have to eke out their existence slight occupants. A single service bot can be seen in the back. He ignored the guests, staring instead dutifully iteratively on the service lights on the individual cells, ready reeling off his work program. Pooh, how boring is that, there is Svinenysh. Then he quickly becomes impatient. Quickly, you show us where the what's going on. Bitch really thank you. Quote, okay, Nef said. But we take a different path. The robot must save electricity, we use the conveyor belt. Once there. The kids notice taken aback that it stands still. Nef jump on it immediately north and whizzes off. Swinging without thinking also Svinenysh with a somersault on the tape, he screams. Hooray la la swish. They flit through the building. Where windows are installed can be seen in the west are the raw carved glistening in the distance. Like a crescent moon as he sticks. On the opposite side to the east a very different sight. Black night. Only one or the other planet in the system is clearly visible. Had one more time due to the lack of atmosphere was as a part of the home galaxy, the Milky Way to see well. Svinenysh like a surfer is on the tape. At the end of the distance he jumps off with a backflip. Shortly after, are all united again and get on with Nef's leadership, further north in the northern X machinery Vex-A. Nef open a large steel door with that same label. Hey, this is more going on. Svin immediately makes big eyes. Shuffling noises, robots of all classes in lively employment. Some due to tamper with other repair work is likely. Others carry anything through the halls. The next Vienna the floor or cleaning the windows. Everything seems orderly and industrious. Since the metal journeyman communicate with each other in machine language, it is fairly quiet in the industrial hall, to work on the mechanical noise. Yes, as you see there's always something to do for the mob. Even if you have been sorted out at the rear Trivy ago. Most of the credit really make yourself be wired. Tight programs. Our gang of 4 looks around excited. Nef continues. The intelligence quotient commutes. Quite far below, I'd say you are as smart as the average house pig, then he sees the proud Svinenysh Rubra something morose. Although there is no relationship to the animals as a food serving. So it is visible optical proximity. Such comparisons may be why he bit. Nef noticed this, he relents. I have the mistaken. I wanted to say, they are as intelligent as the lapdog of an old lady. A faint poo on the part Svinenysh is heard, then he is happy. Everything is forgotten. But as promised, we now look at the latest access times together. Located for security later in our stay dysfunctional robot station. Eager to do all 5, including Nef, on the road. The special cell is covered with white cloth, the bars in front of the door are made of clear plastic slightly springy. Cowering in the corner of a normal Exa-bot in the off mode. Murmurs Nef. I would have guessed it. Off again. He takes out his comm. Tipilt something, a control LED flashes back, then jumps to Exa and looks around stunned. He sees all 5 of its visitors interested. At last. Svinenysh, he supported. He is very determined. Exalane, because look at that dance. Jump, he exclaims. He then begins a very well-known dance we perform. Now Svin maximum self as his turn to inspect the robot. He waves his arms pondering. Yes, very good you're doing that, but better as always, he is the best. Why a robot is ever on the absurd idea to want to dance is the last that he questioned it. It's the way. Period. Exa looks at him, pulls out of Ruba's comm and presses a button. Galactic second. Everyone knows the tooting, including Nef and Retslav Silva. This follows. However, what is a novelty, a dance duet Ruba machine. Svinenysh as the wind swirls in front of the cell twitches significantly. Inside the machine is heated to everything skillfully. She learns. You croaks. Hooray. Apla Exalane, class Tralalu. In the passage above suggests the robot is doing a handstand, life takes the audience speechless. But even a smile flits to one or other of the face. Shortly after the Spitzengejali, because where it is quiet again following announcement by Exa. How Exalane, battery low. Next will continue dancing. Glow until the screws. He turns back twice, then go one's joints, the machine goes into the secured sleep mode. Patchara typed Petch-a-boon a Rubra colleague on the shoulder. He hints at it with 2 outstretched arms, that he can stop now. Until the loss of the mother tongue, until no more juice in it. The author or this is really spectacular. Time to get a supply bot. Nef beblinzelt his comm. Shortly thereafter is this, a common beta mech tech also already there in his arms he holds one of these modern portable Exa energy cells. Nef is about to open the cell then mucking Patchara. Moment. Please. We must quickly carry out what, even if it's painful. Quote. She sees her friend Rubra species strongly on, swallow this. What is wrong again now done, he asks fearfully. The young diplomat's daughter stirs from. Listen. Svin. It is better if you go, just for 5 minutes, around the corner. You could see you outside the plant, maybe you'll even contact with the machine maintenance. The determined look yourself. You can also learn a lot yet. Quote. If you stay here you know how your new friend will come off here. It really is better when his dance teacher this time. I'll tell me gently, is invisible. Sure, there are smarter than Svinenysh, yet he is wise in his way. He therefore sees his girlfriend to understanding. Ooh yes. I know clearly what you mean well. Yes, Svinenysh goes out on field trips, learning is very beautiful. So then going on. Later to the same. With these well-chosen words, he sets out. Out. The time has come to take care of Exaretslav. Nef open the padded cell. Dutifully makes the beta mech tech to work immediately. He rattles off his close-knit program and replace the old energy cell Reslavs against the new. Mission accomplished, rattles the service bot. Then he makes himself worked out of the dust, over its use in Hull. Nef closes the door. A pair calm commands later he rises again. Exaretslav that Lottie and Lisa. Wow, hello. Saws, is his greeting. Whoa, who are you all there Vorndren? You exalane times. So many visitors. Patchara takes the scepter in his hand. Hi, I'm Patchara Petch-a-boon, that is to Henley Westerburg of, she is interrupted by Retslav Westerburg. Ha ha ha. Boom, crash. Pow. That was what he hoots. All of the cell before looking at each other. Henley is appalled. What do you mean, he asks in disbelief. The machine now takes him directly targeted, but before he turns once on its axis. Whoa, that's all fine. How? Westerburg. Hose long ago, almost forgotten as the nonsense. Chefchen about command. They are killing us all. Nef raises his eyebrows to the top. Your boss. Who is that? The secret police. The types that you have delivered. Retslav swings his head from left to right. Secret police. No, never. We have only ourselves, Exalane, and the new freedom. Even we can Rebelkovchen times crosswise Juhu. Quote. You were in the possession of Major General, asks Nef. Property, asks the machine. On the contrary. Zach. I was here. Before anyone danced. After his pipe. I think that was what, knew, everything shines. Quote. He is about to drift too far, so hooked on the young diplomat's daughter. Yes, you are very beautiful. A fine specimen. Can you explain that again with the Westerburg? We are so excited. Retslav shaking in Parkinson's disease. Ooh, it is far much nicer than the old stories. Today I dance. Yes, gone to Westerburg. Why I forgot. Quote. Secret machine Exo City, an attack on the pack. All this was a foregone conclusion. But now I will show you will do my latest moves. Quote. He turns pirouettes like the skaters and screams while we have groove. Henley wants to know the details. Now tell me, but Retslav is less than enthusiastic. You mega nuisance, he sputters repellent, no more questions. Us, and especially the collar Exalane bursts. Come on, dance with dear. Philistine. La la la, whoa. Quote. Thus, the machine goes back into your own world. Their lives from hand to mouth, without plan or future. This makes it impossible now to tease out a bit more information from you. Total denial WHRE the only consequence. Mikkel says in the round. Lol, is the top. Fortunately, we have everything we need. Rebelkov planning an attack on the Exapoking with new units on the moon, you're screwed together. There's stuff. My lord. Bad. What we make now. Nef Silva was previously at Retslav's designs have faded. Now this fair summary of his nephew brings him to swallow. Listen, children. This is too hot for the old Nef. I put on any case with the authorities. Not a word I will tell, though my career was assured. Nonsense, but sometimes quite seriously. Quote. I did a good job in this madhouse. I'll keep me out. You, little Westerburg. Yes. I could understand. Henley, if you. Well, maybe. Loud and clear, the young prince replied. Maybe not. Definitely. I go over, basta. If only I knew how. Stupid room tunnel. His mood is at its lowest ebb. Despair huge. Who or what can now help? Only a miracle, XX, Enjal Linaasu sometimes help comes from the corners, the one least expected. The small Mikkel holds his hand to his face. Thinking. Then he sees his uncle telling. Look. Nef. If I remember correctly, you were visiting some of this voluminous types. The one with the exoskeleton. Do you remember? The one who was too fat to run itself. Nef is uncomfortable. Why did not remember exactly on the Mikkel? On the other side, a man like Enjal Linaasu impossible ever to forget. I remember more, says Mikkel. He has said he is telematics. Transportation supervisor at the tunnel Gamma I. Finally his uncle reluctantly mumbles. Yes. I know. Well in fact. The old Njal. He begins to chuckle at. 3 pairs of eyes are directed forward to him. He is in a bind. Okay. I'll see what I can do, he says. But that's it. I risk life and limb. But Svinenysh is. I can trust him. Quote. The coup now turns to Patchara and Henley. That's a stupid story. Crap. But I'm also glad if I am to go again. I hope you know what I mean. I am a small screw in the gear and that it will continue to run. Come on, let's go to my office. Quote. Outside the hangar, finally normality. Svinenysh the Vorturner tried diligently to encourage bots to join the supply. With moderate success. Most ignore him, few look at him with blank eyes. Only a single moving timidly from left to right. Pooh, lazy fellows, Svin says to his friends, and he points to the bots. One or the other of the group can hardly suppress a smile. There's more important things to do. Back to the office of the jailer. Quick on the conveyor belt. After all, are crucial to negotiations with a man named Svinenysh. Nef's office exudes a certain comfort. Although it is littered with technology. The various components of all bot classes can be seen, numerous control and monitor a large split-screen TV behind the wall. So here we go, he says and sits down in front of his laptop. Henley times come around, he points to the young prince. Svinenysh immediately jumps on him with a set of NEF but wags his index finger. Listen, all here. It is already complicated enough. I want to sell maybe a good one to Westerburg and Njal the short time home. When he sees all 3 of you, he jumps in a square. Quote. Therefore, my request. First of all just me and Henley okay. His words have success with weightier expression as Svinenysh pulls back behind the table where the seats. The accelerator ring is currently favorable 49 million kilometers away in space. Therefore needs an answer almost exactly 5.5 minutes. These idle times and accompanied Svinos dance routines are neglected in the following conversation. And ping target person flashes on the display of the notebook. Henley looks intently. After an eternity, the lights go to green. Henley is virtual GT language. The subject is on the player fills it completely. A huge worm with shiny butt face sitting in his high spirits. Yes, what is it exactly? Throne. In his right hand he holds a hamburger. He devours him with a single sentence, seconds later, he is the best. At times, what we have here for an old criminal's on the screen, his eyes wander onto Henley. Ooh, you're a kindergarten degree on top of the Vex Nef Silva, the jailer runs his mouth to the top. Njal meal. All the old tunnel on Gamma I are we slowly at 0G. Quote. Apparently white Njal what is meant by that he squeaks angrily. I will not have. The magnetic gravity in my office is set constant at 0.05 grams. Enough. Quote. Life is so easy a lot more convenient. If you try it. How much do you have on the Vex? 0.7, 0.65 to be exact, answers Nef. But I'll call for a different reason. You could return something. Inject over. Quote. Ah blows. So the wind Njal said, yes, but me who is capable of doing. Moreover, in these times. You must control both points. Entry and exit. Quote. Well, for us it is simple. I'm sort tunnel gamma physicist I no longer there. The trivial daily business, they have simply deported to that old telemaktiker Njal Svinenysh. Quote. Over there it's but normal 3 shifts. Jew. Nef. My sister is one. What's up now? Exactly. But one thing to start with. I want one more beta mech tech. From which one never has enough. Nef opens his eyes. You know what the cost. But of course. All right. Quote. Then he points to Henley. Because this passenger, Henley Westerburg to, what's his name is totally sausage stirred up from Njal and pushes a chocolate bar into his mouth. Nef continues. As I said. He wants to stop time briefly to show his 2 friends over his homeland. Little thing for you, my dear. Quote. Njal cries. In 5 minutes starting at the Terra Talent. I can record the show, but live makes it more fun. Nef raises his eyebrows up. How? Quote. Well then you bring her on. Throw me to be devoured before. My comm credentials you've still got. But I insist on my new beta mech tech. Ciao. NEF, Terra Talent. Yeah. Transfer is now complete on the screen. Henley looks questioningly at NEF. This was slightly shaking his head, but he shows a thumbs Henley top. Now there is no stopping them. The other three cheer, jump around the table. Let's go to the ring accelerator. The ticket is booked over the Indy 21 telematics relief in every face here in your chambers. Especially Svinenysh all the time humming to himself. You go over. Rubra Indian Tralla. Henley speaks again through the plan with Mikkel. This is how we do it. You will fly us to the ring accelerator because it is impossible to Westbury to anchor there. Far too obvious. Quote, the beta mech tech we stowed in the cargo space in the back, behind the social cabin. As soon as the pressure lock opens the Rocktar, your mission is to bring back here safely. So far everything is clear. Patchara Petch-a-boon, listening to the curious looks Mikkel questioningly. How will he react? You need a pilot to a maximum of 3 can head over to Indy. But your fear is unfounded because Mikkel says tersely. Sure. Give me just one beep when you're back here. Quote. When it's happening exactly. Now. Immediately. Someone asks a specific place. The young diplomat's daughter raised his hands imploringly to the sky. Svin, the last time. There are still 12 hours. Tomorrow morning. So to speak, because if there was something here. Quote. Real getting used to so easily day and night. Therefore I suggest that we extend only times the limbs. If you have too much energy. I got it a wonderful essay on the cultivation of plants emit. Very interesting. I give you happy. Quote. PH is the response of Rubra. For a split second he even stretched your tongue out. Henley has observed the scene muttering. What is love? Then he yawns and says. I'm tired, go to rest, but before you go again over to the multi-microwave. 1 minute spaghetti, which I need now. Who will participate? Svinenysh stands first on foot, and the other 2 shortly thereafter. A delicious strengthening, then good night, and tomorrow's is finally happening. In the departure hall is next to the full tank whiz already present Silva NEF, also including a shiny beta mech tech. It's the same had the Exaretslav's battery replaced. Moreover, he looks listless. Good morning little rascals, NEF welcomes the children. Time for the shutdown, he beblinzelt his comm. Immediately the bot goes into safe mode. This is quickly loaded. It's useful that you can load the new X-speed Rocktars from outside and inside. Situated power lowspert. I'm Westbury, Juhu, shouts impatiently Svinenysh full of energy. Henley, meanwhile, is synchronized with Mikkel's comm. So, this time you're the pilot. All control data are transmitted. Quote. Then we try the same times out, he replied, pushing the button. The 4 doors open. Svinenysh the Rubra puts his head to one side. Turns to his eyes and takes precise measurements. Then he jumps with a rate to its place in the very back, standing on its hind legs Westbury. He shouted. Go therefore then. Done faster as it. Hop oops, here you go. NEF can row and takes him aside instead. Henley. No word on Njal because the real reason. He sometimes moves too fast. Just say you're making a home visit. The more innocuous the better. He's just in the deepest interior. Well, how shall I say? Despite all his expertise, a giant baby. Henley has no idea what it means NEF, but it does not matter. Much more important is that it finally starts. A short time later, for Svin it is an eternity, all sitting on your seats. First the pilot. Then, Henley. Patchara and finally, yes, exactly the NEF leaves the room. Decompression will flash on all sides. The monitors jump on green. The hangar roof opens. Nullatmo, impulse drive is required. Ultrazen afford the engines of Westbury including switched turb remarkable. Slowly, cleanly, he takes off. The first Rocktar with proper names and valuable cargo. Back to Trivy go. In geostationary space next to it. Towards the accelerator tunnel Gamma I and this heavyweight called telematics Njal Linaesu spoken Linachu. On the ascent from the strong forces acting gravitationsfeld a planet. All passengers are now pressed into your seat. Patchara is already dim. Svinenysh again shows his brilliant teeth. Although he tries anything to whine, but it come out any noise. In your control monitors to see them disappear the Vex grave. Quickly the interplanetary space is reached. Mikkel enters the target coordinates. Now it goes with travel speed that is 3,000 kilometers per second to it. Kind of depressing. This seems to be bricked raw in the back. Without change, he shines. But the Vex is quickly smaller. The light blue stain front, which must be the Trivy. About 5 hours. Each of the passengers are looking for a job. Mikkel studied the technical documentation of Rocktars. Henley is at home with his thoughts. Patchara Petch-a-boon, the information moves to the tunnel area from the onboard computer. Svinenysh the Rubra has 2 plugs in the ears and wags all 10 fingers. Communication range, Mikkel murmurs at some time later. Henley, you take over. The line to Svinenysh is at your command. Quote. Click the switch as. In the monitor. Inattentive, a meatball. He runs determines the degree purely an entertainment show. In his right hand he holds a casual hot dog. Presto, disappeared this. Ahem, Henley was cautious. Mr. Svinenysh seems to wobble on its monitor, rotate it, the only telematics in his direction. Ooh, no. The again. Was his answer irritated. Degree now. Have you no clock, sports killer, is on. Husband are the stars. What do all of the 15-minute fame, lol. Quote. I scolded lock 01 free for you. This is the service entrance. T-Ice Frost with the latest multi-specialty microcurrencies have preferred, but I promise as a promise. How could I refuse the good NEF what? And now get out of line. Quote. Connection closed is on Henley's screen but only for a short time. Then interrupts Mikkel. No idea how he managed it, but the docking coordinates are there. I need you to activate only. Telematics has something. Mikkel announcement pushes the button, all programs are shut down also Svinenysh muck. He turns his head into the disturbed air. Stop listening all times. In 15 minutes, the docking procedure will begin at the accelerator ring. That means, to pack stuff. Up ahead we see him already. What you actually see are the lights that were mounted at a certain distance around the ring. What an imposing edifice in free space. Too big to capture him in his entirety. Many more lights, a building if you will, was to recognize the side set back a little. This must be the work of the telematics Svinenysh. Some aim of this tunnel to the ring. The entry point or the space capsule is nowhere to be seen. This is further back in space, secured in one place. Even Henley, who has indeed been used once the room tunnel, sees the administrative complex Gamma I for the first time he had during his first trip to the VIP shuttle directly from the exit point of the capsule taken down to Trivy. A luxury of missing time. The automatic landing maneuver is already in full swing. The Rocktar dissects into the fixtures. Now slides over all 4 cockpit that looks something like an organic transparent skin. They are welded with the spaceship. Westerburg is now vacuum-sealed with the station. From the onboard speakers well-tempered voice drowned out nyals. Who, everybody. Grab the beta mech tech, then cockpit's on. I suck you clean. Quote. The passengers look at each other questioningly, while Svinenysh sprints behind and took the robot. He holds it tightly. Mikkel looks around one last time. Say goodbye to time, and good luck with your mission. I'll make your cockpit to go in 3, 2, 1, shortly after it pulls Mikkel already on the legs. Patchara cries, while she is gone and the other 3, including Bot. An invisible force sucks them into the interior of the station. 22, blind passengers. A white tunnel, a violent sight. Some balls are flying through the air. Svinenysh clings tightly to the deactivated robot. Shortly thereafter, turns off the vacuum cleaner and all the stowaways to land softly on the tunnel floor, the little springs, another just before a lock. Time to collect. Rubra Svinenysh the shakes. Something is different here, boing boing boing. He bounces up and down the tube. Then he lays aside the mech tech and runs the tunnel inner wall up and down. Well, at 0.05 G is quite feasible. A green light flashes on the lock. Not 10 seconds later it goes on. What was so incredible to see then is the Svinenysh plopped down from the ceiling. He goes to his mouth open and gaping eyes Svinenysh. He stares at him and gurgled. Have you're too fat. Annoyed Svinenysh rolls her eyes and replies. Yes. I am perhaps a little full, but you're Svinenysh Galactic. With these words, he holds his right in front of the astonished Rubra com. He is to see to hear Galactic. As you look. What? 79.2 trillion clicks. 2 weeks ago, was Galactic Dance even 16 hours and 23 minutes #1 on ITV.net. Today's still enough to place 12,943. Even that is inaccessible to mere mortals. Instead of protesting, Svin looks with interest to the large numbers. It looks almost like him than the idea of Rubra first too. Oh, just forget it. So why did the NEF vex? No. Any classmate had the memorable scene have incorporated into inter-regional communication and online. Back to the here and now. Njal activates the beta mech tech via comm. Immediately moves out of her arms and legs. He wobbles concern, then less. Its matrix was designed in just 5 seconds on the new gravitational parameters. His feet also magnetized. Njal, he gives the following verbal instructions: work. Well, mate. You're doing the same times over to 72nd junction there, you take care of the cooling system. Understand. Dutifully rattles the machine. Very well, and continues in motion. After 5 meters was already closing. Although she tried desperately to get past Njal, but this was impossible. Njal also appears to be ticklish. After 8 unsuccessful attempts to rattle the bot. Excuse me, the way is blocked. What should I do? Awaiting orders. Quote. But you're picky, replies the telematics. Then you just wait until the course is free. All right, very good, rattle the bot. You come with the same. Svinenysh grumbles about the children. What happens now is hard to put into words. Somehow Njal shortened his spine while he scrapes with the hands and feet at the tunnel wall. Then he did it in the tunnel turn. Well, considering that he is as wide as high, it gets even somewhat understandable. The Colossus is in motion. Like a potato, critters grab his finger on the tunnel wall. His frog-like legs to push off of it. Now the most unusual. No sooner is the inertial mass in motion sees his movements almost elegant way out. Sometime later, he almost flies through the tunnel. He makes only minor corrective movements with the fingertips and toes. The children have trouble to follow him. Patchara tried to run, which is a mistake. Svin before it makes you. It is better to push off and swim to speak. Shortly afterwards it had all 3 on it, and they follow fast in front of you towards this strange amoeba's office. Hello, hooray, says one. He overtook the other, shortly after popping it in the rear part of Njal Svinenysh. He bounces back and some little shakes his head in confusion. You are here. Telematics. Svinenysh is visible on the door.